Thank you for tuning into the L. Henderson Real News Show, issues, views, and solutions. The L. Henderson Real News Show is designed for you to listen, learn, and invest your knowledge and skills in your community. The show's format will be clear and direct. Each show will identify a problem. It will determine who benefits from the problem. The show will also determine who is the victim. And finally, we will show you how to create a prioritized action plan for success that can change your life, family status, and community in 30, 60, 90 days guaranteed. The L. Henderson Real News Show will identify, address, and teach you how to resolve problems in education, economics, politics, religion, community development, and local, state, national, and international affairs. So I want you to stay tuned for the L. Henderson's Real News Show. Hello, viewers. This is Eldridge Henderson from the L. Henderson Real News Show. Part of being successful is dressing for success. This is why I want to tell you about Pennywise Cleaners, who's been serving the Southwest Jackson community for over 3 years at 4590 Raymond Road in Jackson, Mississippi. Pennywise delivers friendly service with a smile. Whether drop-off, drive-through, or delivery, Pennywise has got you covered. All work is done on-site using state-of-the-art equipment to keep you sharp and clean. A penny saved is a penny earned. At Pennywise Cleaners, located at 4590 Raymond Road, Jackson, Mississippi. For more information, the number is 601-372-0097. Pennywise Cleaners is a proud sponsor of the L. Henderson's Real News Show. Hello, viewers. This is the L. Henderson Real News Show. We are back again with some real information, folks. And if you listen to what I will be presenting today, I can tell you one more time that what you hear can change your life, your status, your family, your community in 30, 60, or 90 days. I have a guest here. Her name is Miss Lorene Williamson, and she is a Senior Vice Chairperson for Youngevity, a holistic salvation medicine company where they sell natural herbs. So, Miss Williamson, I want you to correct me and tell me exactly what you do, and give us one thing initially, and that is a brief history of your founder and some of the great things that he has done. And I'm talking about the famous Dr. Joel Wallach.
Yes, sir. It will be my pleasure. We work with Dr. Joe Wallach to spread one message, and it's the message of health. Dr. Wallach in the 1960s worked with Marlin Perkins, and he worked with the animals of Mutual of Omaha. He was contracted through Marlin Perkins' program to do a government grant that studied why people and animals die in large cities and near zoos. In that grant, he found over 900 diseases that are still plaguing us today. He found the cures for those diseases. He wrote a book about them and presented it to the government, who had hired Marlin Perkins and the team, and they put the book in the Smithsonian, and today it's considered a national treasure. So I'm honored to be working for Dr. Wallach. In the 1980s, briefly, he decided to go back to school and become a naturopathic doctor because the medical field did not recognize his findings since he worked with animals and was a veterinarian. So he decided to change that, and he is helping people today through 300 to 400 lectures.
Okay, now listen, you know what you just told me. You were telling me that your doctor found over 90 diseases that can possibly be cured in animals. Now, could this relate to individuals, to people?
Absolutely, and that's over 900. That's over 900, not 90. 900 diseases that still plague us today. Dr. Wallach found, proved, scientific studies, and documented. We put it in a book, and they put the book in the Smithsonian.
Now, wait a minute. Now, you're saying the government is concealing cures from the people in the United States and the world. Now, are you saying that, or are you saying something else?
Actually, they're not concealing it. It's in full view. That's what I do. Dr. Wallach does those 300 to 400 lectures free every year, every day. He's been in Jackson, Mississippi 4 to 5 times. The problem is people don't hear him. and they don't listen because he's naturopathic. And people scoff him, and he does have some controversial issues, such as muscular dystrophy and finding the cure for muscular dystrophy, because Jerry's kids are out there collecting money.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop you. I know I'm being impolite.
No.
Now, I know that Jerry Lewis story, and I know for many years he was very famous talking about cures for various things and raising money.
Yes.
And he all of a sudden disappeared. Now, tell me the story behind Jerry Lewis being kicked off his telethon.
He was fired. He was fired because Dr. Joel Wallach took his 15-year clinical scientific studies of patients, people, where he had proved that he cured muscular dystrophy with selenium and a few other items. And Jerry took it to the association. The association reviewed it, came back and said, well, yes, these look accurate, but he's so controversial. He's not scared of anyone. He sued FDA over 9 times and won all 9 times. So we will just keep the course. And Jerry Lewis said, no, this is what we are working for. And so I insist. And just within hours, he received his pink slip.
Okay, so to make it short, they fired him because he wanted to talk about some of these 900 cures. And at the same time, the people that are making money at that time that were making money wanted to continue to have these, what they call them, telethons, to raise money from the people throughout the world so they can get rich. Am I correct?
Donations.
Donations,
that's
right.
Correct. Now, Jerry Lewis, all he wanted to do was just present Dr. Wallach's findings and that they had actually found a cure for muscular dystrophy. So nothing to do with the 900 diseases, just showing the documented, proven study and being able to celebrate that with Dr. Wallach. Because Dr. Wallach told him, we're not here to collect money. We're here to present you with our findings, and they're reputable, and they're documented and proven. And we're going to make this announcement, and we'd like to do it with you, Jerry Lewis, because they're Jerry's kids. And so Jerry Lewis insisted, he loved it, and the association fired him.
Wait a minute now, Ms. Williams, I'm going to tell you again. You think the doctors are going to work around with some documentation that shows that one can cure 900 plus diseases? That wouldn't make any sense from a capitalistic point of view. Doctors are in business to practice medicine, not to cure too many people, because that'll put them out of business. Now, we know that doesn't sound too good, but it is the truth. And that's why when people have a certain skill, they don't want to solve too many problems. The plumbers, the air conditioners, the car people, and others that are making things don't want anything that lasts too long that'll keep them from making a profit. And that is exactly what you are saying about the people that are making money off medicine. They are practicing medicine, don't want to cure things. But now, since you say there are some specific cures, let's get into the nuts and bolts of it. Exactly what proof do you have that some of these diseases can be cured? Name 2 or 3 of them.
Okay, so the exact thing that you need is to put in the body the 90 essentials. Dr. Wallach found that the body consists of something very natural. The body can correct itself, and so he teaches to reverse those illnesses that we pay good money to get medicines for, which we respect the medical doctors completely. And we feel that there are more of them that just don't understand that in 1936, our soil became depleted of all minerals. It was written up in Senate Document 264, and as you know, Senate documents are pretty deep. This was a little part there that said we must do something because we are depleting our soils. Nothing was ever done, so you cannot get the minerals from the organic fruits and vegetables, and you have to eat so many to keep up with the GMOs. So Dr. Wallach put it in a product because he could not find it either to where it would be simple to take.
That's the good news, and that's solution.
Yes.
I always look for solutions that can change one's life, status, family, and community in 30, 60, or 90 days. Now, I want you to tell us some of those so-called bad foods that you all are eating that's causing you to have major doctor bills on a yearly basis. Just hit it on the button and tell us something, about 5 or 6 of them.
Okay. Wheat, barley, rye, and oats.
Okay, now
Anything
they're
with
bad
that in
food.
it. That is bad. That's gluten. So that is really, really bad. It messes up the plumbing, and when you mess up the digestive tract, you can't absorb anything. Doc says that if you can't absorb it, good or bad, it's not going to do you any good.
Okay, so you're saying 90% of the Americans and most people of the world are eating the wrong foods on a regular basis. Now, suppose that's just a cultural thing, and that's what they have always done. Now, do you think realistically, though, people are going to stop eating wheat and barley and all those things they've been eating for 10 or 15 generations?
Well, the percentages is higher than 90. And no, I don't think that they're going to quit eating those things unless they really educate themselves. I like to say that until the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of change, they will not make a difference. But I am seeing a change. I am seeing people in the state of Mississippi as well as all over the world make a difference because they're educating themselves through shows like yours.
Okay, and I do know you're definitely on the ball. I've seen you here and there talking about this same matter. Yes. And you are touching a lot of people throughout the state of Mississippi. And I also understand that you are going to other states and you have a worldwide connection through the internet, and you probably going to become more than a senior vice chairperson if you continue to make these contacts. Would you agree with that?
I do, but I'm just looking for one person that's looking for what we have. I try to reach as many people, and I do answer to 65,000 people myself personally. Our company has well over 600,000 people that are actively taking these products. The wonderful Drew Pearson, which is, everyone knows him as the famous football player, Hall of Famer. He is part of our company, as in his favorite product is the CM cream. You'll see his little face on there. But we have a lot of celebrities and we have a lot of stories. And I just ask that anyone that would like more information to reach out to me or to yourself and get this great, wonderful information.
I just want to tell you, we're going to be taking a break soon. I want them to reach out to you.
Okay.
Because when I tell people they can change their lives, their status, their family, and their community in 30, 60, 90 days, they get excited. Yes. They don't want to believe it because they think that you have to live a generation and pray for things to change and not do that knocking, seeking, and asking and getting the information you need, and such as what you are given today. If they do that, you'll find that things will happen in a very short period of time. Now, when we get back after this break, I want you to address additional diseases and tell us what has happened in some cases where the doctors told the people or some individual, you have a limited time here. They listen to you and some of your representatives and start taking these natural herbs, and now they are still living longer, they are healthier, and they are probably thinking about getting in your business and selling some of these products. You have any stories like this you can share with people?
Yes, sir.
I know there are a lot of local folks doing what you're doing.
Yes,
I met some of them several months ago.
Yes.
And they talked to me about doing the same thing, but I'm going to let you all handle that because I'm going to wrap up by saying, get ready for some real solutions, viewers. When you hear the real solutions, you're going to be surprised because Miss Williamson will give you exactly what you need to know, and she will then give you some contact information. And I want you all to consider calling her and making sure you get some of these products if you think you deserve and need them. The Action Leadership Institute has office space for rent at North Jackson off I-55 South at 5435 Executive Place Office Park, located in a high-traffic count area. There are 4 offices available, 1 office space, 650 square feet, 3 offices, 150 square feet each. All are available today with first month free and deposit. Ideal spot for established businesses and startups such as law and tax offices, insurance companies, boutiques, counseling centers. Again, the address is 5435 Executive Place Office Park, shown by appointments only. The number is 601-201-1957. Thanks, viewers, for staying with the Al Henderson Real News Show. We are talking about health matters. We are telling you again that there are certain things you can do to change your life, your status, and your family. in 30, 60, 90 days. And I have an expert here. All of you heard the first part of this show, Miss Lorraine Williamson. She is a senior vice president, but she wants to call herself senior vice chairman for the Youngevity Company, and the man in charge is Dr. Joel Wallach. Tell me something about this man's early years before he got into this animal study. What was he doing then? In a related field or something totally different?
Well, he grew up on a farm in Missouri, and his father raised animals. So he had a huge interest in their well-being because that's what his parents had him do. So it was just always a natural thing that he would become a vet. He fed them, he took care of them. He had this twitch in his eye. They took him to the doctor at 9 years old, and the doctor gave him a mascara eyebrow or eyelash curler. So he's a wrestler at 9 years old, and having to use this thing was very embarrassing. He's a short little guy, and he said, no way, I'm not doing this. So he started eating the wafers that his father was giving the calves for their nutritional support. He started eating that, and he got better. His muscle got better, and he said, I'm not believing any more doctors. So since 9 years old, he is today 75, he has not been to a doctor at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Well, you know, I had a chance to meet this doctor, and you're right. He is a little old short guy. He looks healthy. He talks like he is about 30 years old, and you say he is in his 70s,
He's
right?
75.
He has a lot of energy, and he is what I call a mover and a shaker throughout the world. Now, we know that a lot of our viewers just hear all kind of stories about what they need to eat or don't eat. You mentioned some of the good foods and bad ones. You put emphasis on the bad ones, and I want you to mention a few others that we eat in this area that are considered bad foods, and then we're going to talk about the good foods.
Okay. So another important bad food would be any oils. That would be olive, vegetable, soy, any kind of oil. Once it becomes oil and it hits oxygen, it starts turning toxic. And when we're trying to battle some free radicals that run around in our bodies, that's not a good thing to have in there. So any and all oils, again, that's coconut, olive, anything that you've heard is not right. That's not correct.
So you want to tell us we can't eat anything then? If you can't eat all those wheat products, oats, now we can't use any oils?
That's correct.
And you say it's killing us?
It is.
So what you going to cook the food with then?
You can cook the food with real butter or animal fat. You can use lard, what our grandmothers used to use.
Wait a minute now. I heard just a few years ago that animal fat, which we call lard, is some of the most serious, deadly products in the history of the world. And now you're telling me your good doctors is indicating through research and proven facts that you need to get back to eating this hog lard, as we call it?
That's right. That is exactly right. And when you consider who told you not to eat the lard and where we've gone with that medical information, you'll reconsider that.
Well, let me tell you the real fact. I was told this many years ago, but that's all we ate. And I remember then, back in those days, and I didn't understand it until later, that the folks in my community didn't go to the doctor. They didn't go to the doctor at all. Most of them didn't take any medicine other than what they could generate themselves. They didn't go to the dentist. They always had a dentist in the community that would pull the tooth with pliers or string. And when they had serious colds and rash, someone would go out in the woods and boil up some roots and stuff and rub you with it. You get up that morning, go to school, go to work, and you never had to go to the doctor.
That's right.
And personally, in my case, I didn't go to a real doctor until I was in the military. And they told me that I was strong enough, good enough, and healthy enough to go and fight for them in Vietnam. And otherwise, young men today, in 2016, that's 18 or 19, couldn't hardly pass a physical because they've been eating all that bad food you've been talking about.
That's right.
So to give our viewers a little relief, you tell us some of the good foods that will keep them young and strong and smooth, just as you are, because I do know you've been telling us that you've been eating this stuff for quite a while, and you were telling me earlier you're a certain age, and I know you're not but 35, so talk to us about that.
Well, we'll just stay with 35, okay,
right.
Doc?
All right.
I am much older than that. I have 4 children and 3 grandchildren with another one on the way. I do take Dr. Wallach's products. I bathe in Dr. Wallach's products because I found out quite recently, well, a year ago, that when you put something on your skin, it only takes seconds to get into your bloodstream. So when you're trying to stay well, and then you go put toxins on your skin through lotions and potions and makeup and things like that, that it's just getting in your bloodstream. It's kind of messing things up. So it's very important that you educate yourself with what you come in contact with in all areas, topically as well as internally.
Now, I just want to interrupt you again, which
Okay.
is not polite. Here you are now. You want to put the nutritionists out of business, the child care people that are teaching kids to eat the wrong thing, all of these cosmetologists that are putting chemicals in one's hair. You want to put the people out of business that's making all these lotions, they say, that will change you and make you look 30 years younger. And you are saying they're all clogging up their skins and their skin and they're going to be dying before their normal times. That's what you were telling the viewers, ma'am?
I don't want to put them out of business. I want to put them in the right business. I want them to become as educated as the rest of the world is about toxins. I want them to find it more important to help someone get healthy and stay healthy than to sell a product. You see, I don't really sell products. That is a byfactor, but I don't sell the products. I educate people on what they need to know. The only reason Dr. Wallach carries products is he was unable to find good medical grade products to direct people to. So in his garage, he started doing his own products, and he found the source for the mineral in Utah that's plant derived. He mixed that up, and in 1997, he opened a company that carried the products, and we've just been progressing every year. 5 years ago, he came up with the Beyond Tangy Tangerine, which is more absorbable than anything else, which with the gluten issue in the gut and the high percentage of people that will not change their diets, it's really good to know that Dr. Wallach's products are the most acceptable to the gut and does the most good. And he says, give me 90 days and I will change your life.
I heard a story about a book that he put together a long time ago, or somebody's told me this story. Doctors say dead doctors don't lie. What is that all about?
Okay, so Dr. Wallach was doing a lecture, one of his free lectures years ago, and in the process of preparing for that lecture in Florida, he was doing some research, and he went to the library and he started pulling death records of some of the more prestigious doctors in the United States, and especially in the area that he was researching. And he found that they were dying at 45 and 48 and 52 at soon-to-be young ages. So he went to Florida, and this big old football player was in there that Doc had helped with his son on some health issues, and he came to learn more about those health issues. So Dr. Wallach started handing out handouts about these doctors that had died at an early age, and didn't really have a title, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, at that time, but the football player stood up and interrupted him, and he said, I came to learn about this terrible disease, and what does this information about these doctors mean to me? He said, well, dead doctors don't lie. He said, you put your life in the hands of medical doctors. You put your life in the hands of surgeons, and these surgeons are dying at young ages. So would that mean that they don't really know what they're talking about?
Well, you want me to answer that?
I do.
Well, I'm going to tell you. Most of them don't know what they're talking about, because if you do the research, most research will tell you that doctors don't really know medicine. They practice medicine. And they have a remedy for when they go wrong. They call it burying the dead. So when you make a mistake, if you're not caught on the spot, in many instances, the person, becomes sicker, and many of them die. And if they don't have adequate insurance, or if they are at a poor status economically, they just go on and go to the funeral and forget about it and pray about it. But usually, if one is rich, they can then sue the doctor get $2 or $3 million, and then the doctor will get chastised by the hospital or whatever and continue to work in most cases, or move on to another state. And your doctor is exactly right. I had a chance to review that study, and when you find a medical practitioner that's telling us how to live our lives, what to eat and not to eat, and they were dying at that time in their early age, 40, 50, and early 60s. Now you'll find that they are living longer, and it's definitely not because they are eating what you are recommended. What do you think the reason is now? Because you know most of them don't believe in what you're preaching.
I don't know that they know. I feel very strongly because I have some really good friends that are doctors. And when I start talking to them, they want to say, I can't believe that. Why haven't I heard this? But then when you find out that it's in their medical journals, when I tell them, you can actually go to pubmed.gov and put in J.D. Wallach or Beyond Tangy Tangerine, and you can find for yourself these clinical studies on this product and on Dr. Wallach. As controversial as he is and as many lies as he drives crazy, he is respected in the medical world. He is now. So go there and find it, and doctors accept that.
They accept that. Now, you were saying his information is what we call the doctor's Bible. What do they call that book? It's something called the Doctor's Bible, some kind of record book, medical book.
Medical journal?
Yeah, the medical journal has, most of them have all the latest cures and so forth.
Right.
And that's what he has been promoting, trying to promote. He's in those journals.
They just don't have time to read it. We're all dying so fast. They don't have time to read all the paperwork.
Well, let me tell you, now to be favorable to the doctors, I don't blame them. If I'm going to spend 4 years in college, 4 years in medical school, and then do an internship for 2 or 3 years, put about 16 years in college and university before I make any money, I wouldn't want to learn anything new either. So now we're going to just say good luck to you. I hope you get some cures going in the state of Mississippi, and especially here in Hinds. And I want you to tell your listeners how they can contact you, because you are almost saying you can cure almost any disease that hadn't killed someone today. Not cure, but help them get better. So tell the viewers how they can contact you.
Okay, I want to say one thing before I go there.
Go ahead.
That I think is very important. You said and suggested that doctors want to keep their money rolling in. I challenge any doctor that's listening to your program that if he made people healthy every time they darkened that door, how much richer would he be, and how many more people would fall in his door if they were actually coming out of there better? Instead of more meds, let's teach them how to take care of themselves and how their bodies can do better. Dr. Wallach opened a clinic. He was sending people away because he couldn't see them all, and he was making a fortune doing it. So he has taught us to go into the field and made these products so easy that if you have a heart problem, he suggests to order the Heart and Brain Pack. Okay,
tell the viewers how they can contact you, please.
Okay, contact me through, my phone number is 601-317-6121, or you may email me at msteam, T-E-A-M, legacy, L-E-G-A-C-Y, at yahoo.com. I have a website. I answer personally all of my emails, and you can find me on this show, as well as Rob J. Show, as well as at New Horizon Church every Tuesday night at 5:30. We work with people one-on-one as well as in groups. Every Tuesday night, we'd love to see you there.
One more time, your phone number?
601-317-6121.
Now, what do you think your medicine or your herbs can do for Eldridge Henderson? Do you think it could do me any good?
Leap higher bounds and go the distance. I think that you would do very well taking the minerals, because that's what you're depleted in.
Well, I'm going to wrap up by saying I'm going to consider that. I have your information here.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to consider seriously calling you within 30 days.
Thank you.
That's good enough for you?
Good enough.
So, ma'am, I want to thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for your time.
You ought to become a medical doctor. Then you wouldn't have to worry about this kind of work.
Thank you.